There being no further amendments, we have concluded debate on the amendment in the nature of a substitute. The question occurs on the amendment in the nature of a substitute. All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment in the nature of a substitute is agreed to. To be clear, the ayes have it. The amendment in the nature of a substitute is agreed to. To be clear, the vote this committee just took was not a vote on final passage of the article. It was a procedural vote which precedes final passage of each of the articles. It has been a long 2 days of consideration of these articles, and it is now very late at night. I want the members on both sides of the aisle to think about what has happened over these last 2 days and to search their consciences before we cast our final votes. Therefore, the committee will now stand in recess until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., at which point I will move to divide the question so that each of us may have the opportunity to cast up or down votes on each of the articles of impeachment, and to let history be our judge. The committee is in recess.
Mr. Chairman, there was no consulting from the minority ranking member on your schedule for tomorrow, in which you just blown up schedules for everyone. You chose not to consult the ranking member on a schedule issue of this magnitude.
So typical.
This is the kangaroo court that we're talking about.
She's outrageous. It's more Stalin-esque than
Unbelievable.
Not even consult.
Just Stalin-esque. Let's have a dictator. It's good to hear about that.
10 a.m.
Unbelievable.
Well, good evening. We'll continue to monitor this. We are together on witnessing this for the first time. Jerry Nadler has thrown a surprise into the proceedings. Let's listen to what's still going on inside the hearing room, shall we?
We didn't have any fact witnesses, but we had a 3-day trial.
I say guilty, then let's have a trial. How about that?
Well, it took them all until the night until they showed.
This was a really sneaky move on their part, really. Not understanding anything about this. We would never treat them like this.
I think in part we are genuinely surprised, all of us, that anything happened in the course of this hearing that was a genuine surprise. But this is it. You hear Collins. Let's listen to Collins. We'll continue to talk about what we just witnessed.
Ending it up with one side and the other doing our final comments like we did, and then to do that right there shows that Chairman Nadler's integrity is zero. His staff is zero. They have nothing that they can offer anymore except the kangaroo court that we've seen for the last 3 days. The giant rubber stamp that you've just seen in this committee has made this committee irrelevant. This chairman has made himself irrelevant. That was the most Bush League play I have seen in my life, because they want to simply get it back on the cameras because it's after 11 o'clock tonight and they don't think enough people is watching. I have never seen anybody want to get in front of these cameras more than this group right here, because they don't have anything to impeach this president on. They don't have anything that they can move on except do Bush League stuff like this. Anybody in America, this should show the American people why this right here is wrong. They should show, this is right now why this president has been attacked for 3 years, and tonight it showed it completely.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.